We are live now. All right, we'll give everybody a second. Why does Casey look like he's a mass murderer right now? Like it's all dark and your face is all lit up. It's like you're about to tell
the
a
lighting
ghost
in
story.
here sucks. I keep saying I'm going to add a light in there so it's better.
You need
but
one of those
I don't
cool
do it.
Instagram model halo lights to like really get your features.
You need to
all
get
lighting in the world couldn't make them cool.
Yeah, you need one of those lights that makes you look handsome,
which is darkness.
I need one of
which
those
is sheer
too. Where do you
darkness.
get
and while you're at it, get me one.
Here, I'm going to do a Google search for handsome light.
Handsome lights.
I would not do that. I would avoid.
Yeah.
No, tell me what you see.
I'm just saying. I gotta believe you type in handsome light in Google. It just seems like one of those things that's like a niche.
I'll take the chance, guys. I'll report. I'll let you know.
On my internet, at my house, on my computer. I appreciate that.
I'm gonna do it on my phone.
Oh,
don't worry.
You can do it on that one. That's fine.
There's been worse stuff than that on my phone.
I'm
pretty sure.
Even Tim,
I don't know.
even Tim says
Matt's about to get a virus.
Matt's always had a virus.
Another one.
Even Tim says that
handsome light or lights.
One light.
Okay.
If you need more than one light, there's no hope for you anyway. Even Tim says Casey looks dark and mysterious.
Here we go. I'm doing it.
It's part of my mystique.
It's just some lights.
Boring.
Sorry,
all right,
guys.
are we ready? And Nick, what's your last name?
Savachi.
Okay, we're gonna go with Nick.
We're gonna go with Nick S.
Yes.
Nick S.
Nick from Rogue Overland. All right, you guys ready? 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody! It is Tuesday night. It is a little after 6:30. We're starting a little bit late. We have Nick Savachi joining us, and I didn't butcher the name. We weren't going to use Nick Savachi from
nailed it.
From
just wait till I
Spell
do
it.
the intro later.
Yes. Oh, it's going to be just
Spell it.
Nick Savachi from Rogue Overland joining us tonight. How are you doing, man?
I am doing great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. We just talked about it. The Rogue Overland. You guys were on the show like episode 5 or something. It was 2016. It's been a long time. The fact that you guys are still doing what you're doing and we're still doing what we're doing.
Right.
What
22.
Episode 22. So 200 episodes, almost 200 episodes ago. The fact that you guys are still going at it and doing what you're doing, and we're still doing what we're doing, that's kind of amazing that we've stuck it out this long. So welcome back and thank you.
For us, it's pretty amazing.
It's ridiculous.
Shocking.
It's ridiculous. So brief update. Like let's talk about Rogue Overland, and you guys have Rogue Overland on Instagram. You have a good solid following on YouTube at Rogue Overland. You've got rogueoverland.com. Give me the 30-second pitch of what Rogue Overland is.
Yeah, so it's multifaceted at this point. Everything from just your basic influencer type work, and then actually working with companies. We've worked with a couple companies in doing some R&D for products, and then representing companies at events as well. So Bubba Rope being one of the big ones for many years now. We've worked with them, and the four-wheeler magazine Overland Adventure. We were on that representing Bubba Rope, and then the other facet would be just getting people out and trying to inspire people. So our annual trip where we take 30 vehicles out on a 4 to 5 day, depending on the area, Overland Adventure. So it really just depends on who we're working with. We could be playing in any of those categories.
Mm-hmm. And you guys are, I want to say, grounded in the Nissan products, right?
Yeah. Yep. 100%. Yeah. So background in Nissans, all of us grew up with Nissans, Nissan Xterra being the vehicles we mainly wheel at the moment. But we're building a Nissan NV 3500 van. And
nice.
that being Yeah. It's been a really fun build so far. It's still in the process. We converted to 4-wheel drive and put a pop top on it. Basically, the idea of that build, or that build has been um, turning it into an adventure van. So how can it be versatile in being able to get to the places we like to get, because our background is coming out of rock crawling. So we like some of the more aggressive style of overlanding, and then do what we want to do. Is it paddleboarding? Is it snowboarding? Is it a mountain bike trip, dirt bike trip? So that's kind of how we've been building that van out so far. But that being said, we'll get out with anybody. We like Nissans, but a lot of people that help us out with Rogue, they roll in Toyotas, and we don't discriminate. We just like getting out with like-minded people.
Yeah. That's that's the same MO for us.
Any opportunity I can have to discriminate against Toyotas, I will, though.
Yes, Matt is very discriminatory. We're trying to work on him. We're trying to broaden
Good
his
luck with
mind.
that.
But where does that put me? Because I straddle both sides of the fence.
I've heard that about you. That's
Not just what I drive.
That's not the first time that's come up.
And he drives 2 different.
And I drive 2 different brands of cars.
Oh lordy.
Yeah, so we've got 3 Nissan Frontier owners in here, and then me being the elite one with the Ford Ranger. I will tell you that, and we've talked about this a bunch of times on the show. Like, the Nissan brand wasn't really on my radar until Matt bought his, and we've all become huge fans of that platform. And I wish that we knew someone with an Xterra that we could build. I mean, those things are awesome. I've gone back multiple times and just looked to see if there's one out there to snag, but they're going for a pretty penny now.
They're becoming the Jeep Cherokee.
Yeah, it's a little. I think what happens to a lot of people, and we hear the story repeatedly, is everybody hears about Toyota, right? They've got a big market share. I was looking for a 4Runner. I couldn't quite take the price tag. I came across the Xterra, and for similarly equipped, significantly less expensive.
Yep.
And so I think that's how people got into them for the longest time. And now what we're running into is, like you said, with the Cherokee, people are realizing, hey, you can grab these, and they're really capable, and they're a lot less expensive than other options.
Mm-hmm. But I think the ship has sailed as far as the pricing goes.
The less expensive, they're
all expensive now.
All
That's
of it
what I'm
is
saying.
working
It's like a Jeep Cherokee. You're
Yeah,
spending,
because
you can thank
$10,000 for one that barely runs.
Yeah, there was a period of time you could pick up a Jeep Cherokee, an XJ, for $2,500, $4,000 if it had less than 100,000 miles on it, right? And because it was mom's grocery getter. It just happened to have 4-wheel drive. But over time, as they became more popular and harder to get to. To Casey's point, it was $10K just for the body, like even if it didn't have a motor in it.
Right.
And I see that with some of the Xteras, because they stopped making them, and because people have realized how capable they are. It's no longer the cheap barrier to entry. It may still be cheaper than a 4Runner, but it's not the same deal that it used to be.
No,
and shopping for Zen.
To be clear, and I'm agreeing completely with what Casey's saying. Years ago, that was the case. I mean, now, you can't, and with the price of used cars anyway. But it's not like it was. But before, I mean, you could pick them up cheap because no one really knew how capable they were.
Yeah, secret's out.
Yeah, secret is out.
And with everybody planning on the impending Armageddon,
apocalypse,
and apocalypse, and you need an off-road capable vehicle so you can make it to Thunderdome.
Yeah.
Survival.
We'll meet you guys there.
Everybody's looking for their survival vehicles.
We'll meet you guys there. So Rogue. When did Rogue Overland as a group? When did you guys start?
Yeah, so we kind of right with you guys there. I mean, when we did that first podcast with you guys, we were just coming up, trying to figure out what we were even doing. But it was 2016, and we had come out of running a Nissan event in Moab, and just back in the forum days, just leading trails, hey, let's all get together and run this trail, and leading those trails. And so we kind of said, hey, we really enjoy doing this, and maybe we can turn this into something a little bit more. And then that's the kind of Rogue came out of that, and over the years has kind of molded into what it is now.
Yeah, it's interesting how, going back to 2016, even, when you were starting this, it was like, this is fun. I'm going to do something with it. I don't know yet. And when you look at it now, right, you look at the adventures that you lead and the YouTube and the product marketing and those kinds of things. Like how many of those things were on your mind at the time when you started, and how much of that was just like, oh wow, this is an opportunity, let's pursue it?
Yeah, I exactly. I mean, I'm sure it's very similar for you guys as you've learned. I mean, we've learned as we've gone along.
We haven't learned
and
anything.
Nothing. And I think back to things at the beginning where I look at it and I say, oh, wow, that was a completely missed opportunity because I just had no idea it was an opportunity, or wow, that turned into something because we were just flying by the seat of our pants, like figuring out as we went along.
Yeah. And how many things like which so I'm assuming your background, maybe I'm wrong, but if I recall, your background isn't in social media influencing and YouTube production and marketing, right? What was your background prior to starting this?
No, I'm in healthcare.
Yeah,
I didn't have any background in it. And for the longest time, until I decided to just embrace it, I felt really silly. Like when someone would ask me, hey, what's this? What do you do with this Rogue Overland thing? And it's like, oh, I'm kind of an influencer-ish, it's like, and no offense to anybody, it's like, I'm not a millennial, but it's, it's something real, and it's opened a lot of doors. And I feel like we've provided value to people, which is what the main thing was about. Like, how can we inspire people and provide information and value so that they can get out and do the things they want to do as well.
Mm-hmm. And I think back
provide information and value.
No, we don't do
that.
No,
is that
that's
what
not.
We
He's doing something different. It's something different for him.
Never said we were supposed
totally
to be
different.
Value.
We're here for chuckles. That's it. But
even that
going back to that, like when you think about in today the things you've had to learn about social media and media production and all these things, like if you knew that in 2017, how much further would you be, right? There's so many things that you guys have accomplished that has been from the, like, how many hours behind the computer, how do I make a YouTube video? You know what I mean? Like,
yes. It's no joke. The first time I got asked for a rate card, I was like, yeah, no problem. I'll send it right over to you.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm like,
for the listener, for our listeners, go ahead and explain what a rate card is.
No. For anybody that's thinking about doing this, and I got a feeling Nick will agree with me. When somebody says, can you send me your rate card, or can you send me your media kit, or can you send me, you say, absolutely, dude, let me make some final updates to that, and I'll get it to you within the next 48 hours. And then you get off the phone and you go, what is a rate kit? What is a media kit? What is a rate card? How do I find one? And then you make one.
Yeah. It's Google, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And then you're up for the next 6 hours, right? Yep. Like trying to make this thing.
The first time somebody asked me for a media kit, I went, absolutely. I'll try to get that to you by the end of the week for sure. I just want to make sure it's up to date. I went over to my wife, who's in marketing. What's a media kit? How do I make one?
Yeah. And you're just in the back of your head, you're thinking, I hope this is something I can make in 2 days. Like, I don't even know what this is, but for love of God, can I get this thing out in 2 days? Because yeah.
And for anybody that's trying to do something like this, just the answer is always absolutely. Give me a couple days, I'll get it to you, and then you figure it out after the fact. That's the reality is you figure it out as you go.
Yep, absolutely. And then I mean, for us, so rate card, right? Rate card is your billing price for the services you could provide. And I remember then I had to figure out, okay, now I know what a rate card is, but we have whatever we have, 24,000 followers on Instagram. Where does that even rank us? Like, what's reasonable? For if I send somebody a photo, what's a reasonable price for that? So now I'm spending another hour trying to figure out what the different categories of influencer are. So yeah, it's been a wild ride. And I tell people this, and it's the American way, I guess, is if you're willing to work hard, you can accomplish it. But we have had so many late nights, in order to accomplish what we've wanted to accomplish. And you have to be willing to make that sacrifice, or it's just, I don't know, unless you've got the road just paved for you, it's just not doable.
He went with the, it's America, work hard and you can make things happen. I was going to say you fake it until you make it, you know, just get out there and just keep trucking along.
But the reality is, that it is so subjective, and what you believe your value per X is, and what your vendor's belief a value for spend is. All of that is subjective. I had a conversation with somebody whose podcast is more popular than ours, and I know that it is because
what's his name?
Joe Rogan.
It was Joe Rogan.
It was Joe Rogan.
I don't believe it for one. I don't believe it.
And so we had a conversation about download numbers and he was asking me about how to do this and how to do that, and he didn't think he had enough listeners. This is how it came about. He didn't think he had enough downloads to ask for a sponsorship. And when he shared with me what his downloads were, I'm like, dude, you have surpassed us by three times. And he's like, you're kidding. I said, your value is what your vendor is looking for. Do you have a market that they want to reach out to? Do they want to connect with? Then it doesn't matter if your downloads are 2 or 2 million. There's a guy that does the School of Podcasting. He says if you're doing a podcast about alpaca farming and there's only 20 alpaca farmers in America and you have 20 downloads a month, guess what? You have 100% of the market for alpaca farms. You have value there. So I think as people that are creators and influencers and podcasters and YouTubers, there's this perception that they have to have 1 million downloads before there's any value, and that's just not the case. If there's a company that sees you as an ambassador and that you have value, you have customers that they want to reach, there's value there. Leverage that.
Yeah, 100%. And to play right off of what you're saying is, after years and years of trying, we finally had an amazing opportunity to kind of get a foot in the door with Nissan and Nissan USA. And that was the approach I took with talking with our particular contact there. They had actually given us a Frontier to use for a week for our last expedition and 2022 Frontier. And it was a really amazing opportunity. And that's the thing, like you look at us and you compare us to like Trail Recon, or you compare us to Expedition Overland, right? And we're small potatoes compared to those guys. But those guys are also, I mean, Brad's a Jeep guy, right? So the Jeep market is significantly bigger. To have a bigger portion of that market, he has to have more people because there's tons and tons of people with Jeeps. And so that was one of the things I had brought up is, our influence is very strong in the Nissan community. We have most of our followers are Nissans. I mean, we have other manufacturers that people drive, but that's the majority of it. So when you look at it, it's still a strong concentration of enthusiasts of the Nissan off-road community. So it has some weight, even though we might not have 100,000 followers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have Bob Dotson's personal number, I'm assuming? Mr. Bob Dotson? We've referenced him numerous times.
We don't know what Mr. Dotson's first name is, so it became Bob. So it's Bob Dotson sold to Fred Nissan in
a while back.
Nissan.
A couple decades ago.
But you guys have carved out a niche in that specific market, and you have a great presence in that niche, in that Nissan niche, but you're not. But it was almost like organic. It wasn't like you, or from my perception, it was organic because it's what you drive, it's what you know, it's what you love. But there are other people that look at your content and watch it because it's good content, regardless of the vehicle that's being driven.
Yeah, and that's what we go for. And I mean, you guys know, I'm sure you record podcasts and you're like, wow, we knocked that one out of the park. And then it goes live and you're like, oh,
never once.
Every
time it's like, well, let's see what happens. We're going to publish that again.
But I mean, there's a progression and a learning curve, and you try to make your product better. And I look back at our first videos and it's obvious, right? Like we didn't know what we were doing, and we try to improve that production value. And so, we love Nissans. I mean, I've got a 240Z. I drive an Xterra. Like we love the brand, but we also love the community, right? The off-road community in general. So yeah, we're just trying to put out good content that, although there might be mostly Nissans in there, it's quality content that people can use, whether it's for entertainment or whether they're trying to, to learn about a product or learn about a trail that we've done a review on, so that anybody in the community can appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of trails, you guys just came off of one of your expeditions. Tell me about how that went.
Yeah. So this was the biggest one ever. Every year we have a waiting list for it. So it's called the Rogue Overland Expedition, right? Every year. And so this year we bumped it up to 30 vehicles from 25 because there's always a waiting list and people always say, can we still get in?
We did that once.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's a lot.
So anyway, so this year, and again, when I reference those people that are involved, Nick and myself at this point are the ones running Rogue officially, but there's a couple people from the community that have always been a part, and we appreciate them. And so yeah, we break it up. Columns. We like Star Wars, so we call it the Red Squadron, yellow and gold and blue. And then our tail gunner is Slave One, and we have Rogue One, which is your film crew. And so anyway, so it's broken up. So 10 vehicles in each squadron, and the idea is that each squadron leader knows the route, and if there's issues, that squadron might hold back while everybody continues on, while that squadron leader fixes the problem, assuming it's not catastrophic and needs a whole group halt. And we keep it going. So we've gotten a lot of compliments over the years from people in the community about, man, I've been on many events and your guys are run insanely smooth, and we appreciate it. So we take a lot of pride in that. But yeah, so this year, no different. It ran fairly smooth, besides some failures, mechanical failures. But yeah, we started down in the General Patton Museum. Down by the Salton Sea-ish. It's and great museum if you ever get a chance. Lots of cool history there, tanks, just really, really neat stuff if you're into the military stuff. And then yeah, we traveled down, took a trail called Red Canyon down into Salton Sea, and then a place called East Jesus, which is a really eclectic mix of quote unquote art, and yeah,
is that the painted rock, like the mound of rocks or something that people paint, or it's like a giant rock or something like that?
Yeah, so that's Salvation Mountain, I think that you're thinking of, and yeah, so a bunch of hay bales and plaster, and it's definitely a tribute to religion, but that place is really neat as well. But yeah, East Jesus is a lot of art stuff. So they turn like old tires into art, old cars into art. So kind of neat. So we're seeing for sure. And then yeah, from there we went out to Glamis Sand Dunes. Had an awesome time of getting people stuck. Yes. Had to do yeah. It's all fun and games until all of a sudden over the radio like 5 people are stuck.
Yeah. That's why you gotta have a 450 with a 10 paddle.
All kinds of just
nothing's better than Glamis on a dirt bike.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, it's fully loaded Overland rigs, not the best vehicle. We had a Jeep actually almost roll, so it was a really amazing experience to see everyone come together. And he had got himself. He was basically carving a dune, decided he couldn't make it. Couldn't quite turn down the dune, and so got stuck sideways, kind of half crested.
Yeah.
And really cool opportunity for the group to come together. We got to use the Bubba rope quite a bit and get that vehicle safely extracted. And then from there,
that is an art form. Like that is when you're cresting a dune like that and you can feel it bog, like you need to be in tune with your vehicle and know, okay, there is a point of no return in which I have to turn the wheel and go down or make it up and over. And if you don't know what that threshold is, that's where you end up. It's like, I've bombed up a couple dunes and just gone, nope, not happening. Turn around and get down while you still have momentum. Otherwise, you're sitting like that and praying that somebody can get you out.
Yep, and that's what happened, and it'll be in the video. We'll do an adventure video of the event, and there is a clip. I'm most of the way through editing it now, so there'll be a clip in there of it. So keep an eye out for that. It'll probably come out in about 2 weeks. But yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, we had a ton of newbies with no dune experience, and we had Subarus on this trip. We had, your normal stuff, Jeeps. We had some big full-size vehicles. Actually, a Frontier that was swapped with the Titan engine, and so we said, hey, if you guys want to hit the dunes, we're going to hit the dunes, because we were camping right on the edge of them. And people were like, oh, I've never been out there. And it's like, well, this is what it's about. So if you want to go, let's go. And gave them some tips. But yeah, if you haven't had a lot of time on the dunes, it's hard to grasp the idea of momentum and how to use it and when to not go flying off the other side of the dunes. And so it was a cool about hour and a half of people having fun, getting stuck, and then, using the bubba rope to yank them out.
Yeah. As far as your trails that you pick and choose, do you, is there do you go through the vehicles that are going to go on the trip and go, oh, well, I guess we're not hitting, this rock climb because somebody's coming out with whatever. I don't want to disparage anybody's
Land
vehicle.
Cruiser or something.
Okay. I wasn't going to say it, but in case some guy like Jose shows up.
Can I come out in my Honda Civic?
Yeah. So, I mean, do you guys set the itinerary based on who's coming, or do you get that information prior to, or do you just adjust on the fly?
No, so we go the other way. I'm a Type A personality, so the amount of time, and then Nick Schulte, the other Nick, is he's Air Force, so he's very detail oriented, and so we set the trip, and then when we post the trip, that's when it's okay. Generally our general recommendation is, all right, Subarus are okay on this one, or you really need more of, like, one of the years we did through Yuma, Arizona and Kingman, Arizona, and there was a lot of aggressive rock crawling on that trip. That video is called the 2017 Rogue Overland Winter Expedition, and so it's hard because you guys know you can't necessarily judge how well someone can drive off their vehicle, but you can get a general idea. So we usually will recommend based off of what the plans are. If we see somebody sign up, we'll reach out and we'll say, hey, okay, just so you know, there's this stuff. So if you're a good driver, then you're going to be all right. If you've never driven off-road before, then we need to think about another trip for you.
And we have on our signups, there's a checkbox that says, I recognize that if I come on this trip, I will have body damage and I could die. Click here to accept that. Like that personal and property damage up to and including death. Like once you click that button, I'm clear.
You got to set those expectations right from the get-go.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the bar for us is, hey, nobody died.
Nobody died. It was a good trip.
That's a good trip for us.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely.
So how many of these big trips do you do each year? Is it just the one?
We used to do two. We used to call it the Rogue Overland Summer Expedition and the Rogue Overland Winter Expedition. And what we ran into, besides just the insane time commitment, is we didn't intend to have a raffle, and now the raffle has become insane. I mean, we gave away a set of Method race wheels. Red Art gave away their BCDC, the dual battery management system. Bubba Rope gave away a Bubba Rope. CVT, Cascadia Vehicle Tents, gave away a bunch of stuff. So, doing it twice a year, going to those sponsors and trying to say, hey, we're not trying to just give away hats here. Like, we're trying to do, we want the raffle to be stuff that people will use and really want to walk away with. That was one of the influences that made us decide to drop to one time a year. And then the other is we were in Utah and it was winter, and we camped in Monument Valley on some private land, had, Navajo tacos. Like, it was amazing, but it was freezing. And so we kind of said, instead of doing a winter and a summer, let's just do one a year and chase the best weather for where we're going to be.
That sounds like wisdom to me, guys.
This epic guy right here.
Just last week,
if
I
it-
was complaining about our 3 previous trips, which we try and jam in as many as we can. The first one was the Mojave Trail last year. It was 110 during the day. It was 90.
It was
degrees.
120.
Yeah, it was 120
it was,
something.
look, whatever that was during the day, it was 90 plus at night, and I'm trying to sleep in a
Terrible.
tent. That was miserable. And then the next trip was
Winter
Expedition, King of Hammers. It was 20 degrees in the morning. Like, you get up and somebody have a bottle of water, it's frozen. And I didn't have a tent heater, at least didn't function. And it's like survive. Think about that. That's a freezer. You're just like, hey, I'm going to sleep in this freezer with a sleeping bag. So, that was like 4 nights. And then this last time, we just went on just a little quick overnighter a couple weeks ago. It's windy as shit. It's like nonstop, 50 miles an hour. Again,
Hurricane wind.
Same tent. Like, you know what, Coleman? You got a good tent on your hands. That 1 minute setup tent is killing it because I'm putting that thing through its paces. But what you're saying is, let's just do one and then pick the prime weather. Like, that's
Mind blowing, right?
wow.
Dude, we didn't even think about that.
Something to think about, guys.
I don't need your input
Seems
right
like-
now, Nick, because I get enough shit from these guys.
Yeah.
We have
Nick, can I go? Can I just go camp with you guys? Like,
You're telling me.
we have been trying to fit 4 trips a year in, and you're right. The amount of planning and commitment involved is significant. And just this year, we decided, okay, we're going to do one like May, and then not do anything again until October. Just we're going to skip because we pulled up a climate map, and we're like, okay. There's nowhere to go. There's no, unless you go to Canada.
We're really not that sure because it was Celsius. Because
we had to do some math.
Cody doesn't have like American internet or
It was
whatever.
the
I don't
first
know.
climate map I could find.
Well, there you go. Good try.
So yes. So we the idea. I think last year we only did 3 trips. So so maybe 3 trips a year. But we're trying to do more of them, and part of that is because we did the 30-person trip, and it was just exhausting. So we're trying to do smaller groups and more trips, but it's a lot. It's a lot to try to pull together, and we're trying. We're not perfect. We're at it. We're not good at it. We're
Dude,
still
Tim
trying to.
None of us are.
Tim is
Do
killing
you guys
us in the
pre-run
chat room.
each trail you're gonna do before the expedition, or do you
So-
just pick a trail and like Google it and go off?
Yeah. So quote unquote, back in the day, we would pre-run them. We're to the point now where we're so far out from where we're going to be. For example, I think 2 summers ago, we were in Colorado. That's, what is it? 8 hours, or no, it's more than that. 9 hours, I think, for me. Like, the logistics start to fall apart. So we're to the point now where we're reaching out to our network, people locally. Hey, can you give us some insight? What do you think of this? We're thinking of this. And then just tons and tons of research. I mean, I scour Google Maps and Google Earth trying to find camp spots. And then you guys know, right? When you talk about 30 people, you can't wing a camp spot. You can't say, oh, we're going to camp somewhere around here, around 4 o'clock, we're going to call it. You got to know where you're going.
Yeah. And
so-
have an alternative to your alternative to your alternative just in case. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. In case somebody's there. So no, we're to the point now where no pre-running is just not an option anymore. So it's just a ton of research.
Yeah.
Not only that, and then you got permitting and the logistics with that.
What's that? Permits.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I hope I'm allowed. I'm just going to low power mode here so I don't lose. Hopefully it's okay for me to say this, but so we were again, that Utah trip. We finished the trip, huge success, right? It was a blast. And about a month later, I get a thing in the mail from like Utah BLM or something. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I'll open it up. And it's a citation.
Oh,
And
no.
yeah, and so we thought we had all the areas that we were going to be covered for permitting. And the side of our trucks say Rogue Overland. And when 25 trucks go rolling through a little town, I mean, it's not like you're discreet. And yeah, so we got a bill and we called them and yeah, I mean we said, hey, we had all these permits. We thought we had reached out. We had a letter of understanding with you guys, and oh no, this area is managed by these guys. So yeah, the short of what I'm trying to say is permitting is a nightmare. I mean, it's 30% of planning a trip.
If I've watched Dukes of Hazzard enough, you gotta get in down to the Boss Hog level and make sure you go up to the boar's nest and say, "Hey, Boss Hog, what do I need to do? This is my plan," and then get his, and then then you get an escort, Roscoe. He
Coltrane.
He guides you through.
A handful of years ago, we were doing the Mojave Trail, and we had stopped at
I would just like to say I referenced Dukes of Hazzard on this episode.
Okay.
Yeah, nice. Buddy.
Congratulations. We were on the Mojave, and we stopped at our normal spot, and a ranger rolls up, and we're like, "Hey, man, what's going on? How you doing?" And he started talking to us about permit, and we went, "Permits?"
Huh?
And he was super cool.
Yeah.
He explained it to us, and I was like, never heard of that. Didn't know. I've been doing this for 10 years. Didn't know. And so ever since then, we've been researching and doing the permits correctly and all that stuff. But prior to that, we would just there'd be, 6 to 10 of us and take off and we go do our thing. And we never read.
Thinking back on that, like, what a brave individual. Like, we're in the middle of nowhere. We're in Mojave Trail, and here's just a bunch of
there's naked dudes running around.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know what you're walking up to. Like, it's dark, and he just comes wheeling up to our camp. Like, dude, you don't know what we're up to. And he was, he was very cool.
He did have a
about
gun,
it,
though.
But he was very brave.
Yeah. Super cool guy. But yeah, so that's the word of advice. If you guys are planning any significant trip with more than 4 vehicles, you should research the area, reach out to BLM, especially if you're doing it as a sanctioned event for your YouTube channel or Instagram page or something that can come back to you. Reach out to the BLM and say, I'm going to take this many people on this trail. What do I need to do? It's worth it in the long run.
Absolutely, 100%. And they're usually really cool. Some of them are a little harder to deal with, as you guys probably have run into. But yeah, it's just cover your butt on that, especially now because it's social media is just so prominent. Like basically anything you're doing, I mean, they're used to seeing people out there, and so it's. I was just talking to a buddy of mine that's organizing Gone Moab this year, and he was telling me how a lot of the fees are more expensive now, and you're having to pay fees for things that we didn't have to pay fees for in the past. So you just really, cover your butt on that because it's getting more difficult.
Yeah. There's real cost and real time. Like you can't just go, hey, we're thinking about taking 35 people across the Mojave next weekend. Can we get a permit? No, there's an application process.
That's like a 90-day before.
I think the last time it was 2-3 months that Jose was working on that permit. And that's one of those things you don't think about until you're trying to put something like this together. So when it comes to the logistics of that, like you said, Nick, you and the other Nick, like how many of you guys are at the core of trying to get these things pulled off successfully?
Yeah, so our foundational group at this point is myself and Nick. So I'm generally doing most of the videography. Then Nick Schulte, gold leader. So blue leader. So he's running a column. Then we have Beardo. There's a walk around video of his white FJ on our YouTube channel. He's gold leader, so he's running another squadron. And then Mike Schaefer, he's got the little black Toyota. That's the third gen Forerunner. One of the most amazing builds. I mean, 35s. He cut the firewall back. It doesn't rub it at all. Locked front and back. Marlin crawler. There's a walk around video on his as well. So he's one of the squadron leaders as well. He's red leader. And then a buddy of ours, Ghost, he's the still photos guy. So he used to be a Frontier guy, Xterra guy. Now he has a Tacoma. So he runs still photos. And then two of our really good buddies, they're associated with Underland Off-Road, the part supplier, and they're Slave One. So they run tail gunner for the entire crew. So there's a designated tail gunner for each squadron, but they run tail and make sure everybody, including photo and video crew, has made it through and is doing all right. So yeah.
No, I mean, think of that whole crew. Like, who would that be for us? You know, there's nobody doing.
I'll tell you, it starts off with Cody in front.
Like, I have
and
a
then
cell
that's
phone.
it. That's it. It's Jose in back. That's it. That's all we got.
If it works, it works.
It doesn't work though. That's the thing. It's the one guy that is lost all the time out front.
Yeah,
and the slowest guy.
And
in
the
the back.
slowest guy we got in back. That's what we have.
It's by default.
Whatever happens in the middle is a clusterfuck, and we can't control any of it.
Look, I have a camera mount or a phone mount on my dash, so that's like some production value. And I've taken some very high quality videos. I keep trying to show you guys, and you refuse to take a look at them.
No, those dash cams though, those get great stuff, like the people vomiting after drinking around the campfire and stumbling.
Sometimes it catches somebody taking a lead.
An F-250 jumping the dunes.
Yes, there was. I haven't put the dash cam back in the truck. I had the dash cam in the Tacoma. And like 1 year, it caught Matt 4 times peeing out in front of my truck for some reason.
For some reason, okay.
No, like, why are you peeing in front of my truck? That's
why is your camera always following me?
So clearly, based on the information you just provided, we are doing it wrong. And
it's just different. It's just different. We've learned from losing. I mean, not necessarily for long term, but I mean, one of our early trips, we had a guy that was misplaced, let's say, for about 30 minutes before we figured out where he had turned the wrong way. And I mean, I don't even want to get into how you turn the wrong way when there's a whole line of people, but
at that point, the guy wanted to be lost. It's on him. He's on his own.
Right. Yeah.
Although up until 3 months ago, we would go out and do all these trips, and down here in Southern California, it's all dirt and dust. It's all desert. There was one chase light in the entire group. And it was so 2 chase lights. It was Casey and Mark, and it was this constant, like, where did everybody go? Nobody knows. There's no chase lights. It's all dust, and then so we finally gave enough shit to everybody to get chase lights, and now everybody has chase lights, so it's a little bit.
You guys have. I still don't have it.
Oh yeah. Well, you're at the end.
So,
though. That's the thing. You're in the back.
It's funny you say that because I don't know. It was never really a thing. For being in Nevada, and it's dusty out here, and I don't know if it's just because we were rock crawling more, but it wasn't until we were getting out with more and more of our buddies in SoCal and more SoCal people, and everybody had those lights, and I'm like, man, it makes a lot of sense.
It does.
It does.
It really does. And now, yeah, absolutely, it's super important when you're out in the big groups, at minimum, to be running, your actual tail lights. But yeah, first, I would say for the first couple years, I was like, oh, you got a cool little light on the back. Sweet.
How cute is that?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. What does that do?
And it blinks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's become a thing now. Like,
more than ever. Like lighting stuff. 2 things I never thought about that are probably one of the most important things on a trail are lighting and communications.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like radios.
What are you guys using for communications?
So we're on ham right now, and we run a ham frequency.
All right, look, if you want to do cool stuff, go hang out with these guys. We just can't.
Yeah, we're on FRS.
Yeah, we're on like, the radios you get at Costco. That's like the level
Radio
of
Shack
shit that we're at.
walkie-talkies.
Yes.
Hey,
we're just
work.
one step above a string attached to a can from car to car.
It's a really nice string.
And I mean, you guys are amazing at poking fun at yourselves. But no, the truth is, I mean, whatever you have to get out there, right, is we were on CBs forever. And if anybody's ever used CBs, CBs suck. Yeah. Like, as soon as you get around the corner, you could be yelling out the window like, hey man, like, I need a spot. And they can't hear you over the CB. So So no, yeah, we're on ham now, but we're going to start running a frequency. I think it's GMRS. Is that what everybody's going to?
Yeah.
So that we can start to have those, people running those radios be able to communicate with us as well. And yeah, but you're right. I mean, comms are super important when you're out on the trail, and ones that can reach at least front to middle, so somebody can relay middle to back.
Yeah, because we had a problem with that in our 30 rig Mojave trip. It's like Cody was at most of the time of the trip, he was a mile or two ahead of me, and I couldn't even hear him.
Yeah, so I'd have to say something, and then someone in the middle of the pack would have to relay it because it was a 2-3 mile stretch between vehicles. And one of the things that I want to do is get a mobile unit mounted in the truck as opposed to just the handheld.
But you're right. GMRS, I think everyone's converting to that because you just pay that, I think, $25 a year.
Yeah.
And then you can get like 50-watt radios that are pretty strong. So you don't need a ham license. You don't even take a test. You just pay for the license.
Oh, good. I'm not good at tests.
Yeah, you just pay for the license, and then all the GMRS radios there's some pretty strong ones. So.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems to be what everyone's going to. On the Overland Adventure, that's what they were running, the 4-wheeler thing. They were running that, and we've got a couple engineers on our in our group, and so engineers, if you know them, love them. Their brains work a little different, and so. One of the trips we were on, they were geeking out on like figuring out exactly what the distance was the front of the pack to the tail.
Yeah.
And I want to say it's with that year we had 25 rigs, and I want to say we were at 2.8 miles, like almost 3 miles of length when we were on the interstate traversing from commuting from one place to another. So you've got to have good comms.
Yeah.
Nobody listens to me anyways. No, honestly, I could use smoke signals.
There's a downside. There is a downside to actually hearing what he has to say. But for me, it's like, how much are those radios? Because my chase lights I got, they were like $30 on Amazon. So
I'm looking, and they have
a good GMRS radio is probably a couple $100. Right?
Yeah, on Midland.
Midland radios.
Midland, the lowest price one is $110.
There you go.
But they go all the way up to $460.
But how many watts are they pushing?
I don't. For $460, I'd be able to talk to someone on Mars.
Yeah,
like that.
Astronauts in space.
Yeah. I'm gonna have a conversation with somebody in another state at that point. But we definitely need to do something better with our comms.
I tried a different antenna, like one of the longer ones. Didn't do shit.
No, all the longer antenna did was poke me in the eye.
Yeah, it would just jab me every time I reached down.
Or Tammy, she'd be like, "Whoa, why quit putting that thing in my face?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, babe. That's just
watch the radio too."
Take the radio off my face.
It's too easy.
But it sounds like you guys have really dialed in, your expeditions and your planning. And do you guys have regular meetings to plan this stuff out?
Yeah. So as soon as one finishes, starting for the next one. So we finished the last one. I think it was the last weekend of February. It finished the last weekend of February. And we were already starting to, brainstorm some ideas of where we want to go next year. And then it just, as it starts to get closer, like you were alluding to, permitting, you got to start quite a ways out. We've actually, with some stuff, seen that we got to be closer to 4 to 6 months out. So as it gets closer, we'll start talking more and more and have meetings, getting things lined up. Right now, it's just kind of loose conversations as we're talking about other things and spitballing. But as it gets closer, it's, every month, then it's every couple weeks, and then leading right up to the end. I mean, we might be meeting or talking every other day, depending on what still needs to get buttoned down.
Did you have of your expeditions, did you have a favorite, or was there a an area that you thought was the best? And I know it's like trying to pick your kids or something. I mean, I'll go ahead and throw that out there as an excuse, but was there a trail that was really fun or something that stuck out?
Yeah. So, oh man, there's so many things that are amazing, but I would say I'd like to give a 2 answer to that. The first one being the first time I ever ran Rubicon Trail. So it wasn't one of our expeditions. First time I ever ran Rubicon Trail. I want to say it was, let's just call it 2017, 2018. It was a group of 6 Nissans, and fairly big Nissans in the Nissan community. A couple of Frontiers, couple of Xterras, and everybody was Titan swapped. I was solid axle swapped, and to my knowledge, it's the first time a group of 6 Nissans went through the Rubicon Trail and made it all the way through. And so that was an amazing experience because it was my first time running Rubicon, which was on my bucket list. And just being with a group of Nissans, it was a blast. I've since gone back and done it with a group. We had a Toyota Jeep. So again, not discriminating, but it was just a really surreal experience to do that. So I would say that is probably my most memorable trip as far as the expedition. And people are going to probably think this is crazy, but the very first one, 2017, and watch the video if you haven't. It's the 2017 Rogue Overland Winter Expedition is the thing. There's a photo of a train, I think, on the thumbnail, as I recall. But that thing went sideways. I mean, I don't know that anybody actually knew, but it went completely sideways. Like we didn't, I guess technically we didn't have any permits. We had no idea how much longer, because we'd led trails with 8 guys, 10 guys. You go out for 4 hours, and if it takes 5 hours, no big deal because you're just finishing the trail. Yeah. Well, when you got 5 days of an adventure, when you don't realize that a bathroom break or a gas station stop is going to take a half an hour instead of 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, it starts to add up. So by the time we got to the last day, we were so far behind that we were having to just hack stuff. I mean, we camped total impromptu spot. I think the second to last night, because that one was 5 days. The second to last night, we had a meeting of the quote unquote leaders. And we said, hey, I don't think we're making it to camp tonight. Like, I see this spot on the map. Let's just camp here. Mm-hmm. And then the next day, we had gone out to Kingman, Arizona to run the Mansion Trail, and the Wallapai four-wheelers. Really appreciate them. We had gotten in contact with them, and they were leading us through the trail. Their idea of running a trail was a little different than ours, so that kind of went sideways as well, to the tune of one of their guys spending, no joke, like 30 minutes trying to get up an obstacle. And I'm like saying to the guy, hey, like we got a schedule, dude. Yeah, okay, 1 or 2 more shots. And I'm not taking
if he wasn't taking shots, he would have made it.
Yeah, well, and I won't comment on that. But if you ever been to smaller towns, I mean, they're
smaller towns. My spare bedroom. What are you talking about? you need to go to a small town for that.
Okay. Well, so yeah, there may have been not on us, but there may have been some drinking on the trail, and so I guess what I'm just saying is it all went sideways. But it was amazing. Like, everybody had a blast. We overcame the obstacles as they were thrown at us. And it was, to me, just a really pure experience of, yeah, there's a plan, but things go wrong and you have to be willing to embrace that.
Yeah. I
was going to say, sometimes those are the most memorable things, at the time it's stress and anxiety or whatever. But then you get through that. Obviously you make it. Everybody makes it through it, and then in hindsight, you look back fondly, like, man, that was really that was a curveball that we handled, and in hindsight, enhanced the adventure.
Yeah,
right.
But of course, while you're doing it, you're like looking at the clock. I mean, that's like a typical thing for us. I don't know how many times it's like. But we've gotten better at that.
Yeah,
like by having multiple campsites.
That's the way I have, because I'm very like, okay, we've got it planned, and
there's a spreadsheet that everybody gets.
We got this many miles at an average of 45 miles per hour. We're going to get printed out like this many gallons a gas. My family and I are about to do a 2,000 mile road trip starting on Saturday. I've got it down to like, okay, sunrise is this time. We're going to be at this gas station at this time. But what I've had to learn is that I plan that out entirely for me, and that if I have a plan, I don't have any anxiety around not having a plan. But I plan, okay, if this is the destination for our campsite, that's best case scenario. However, I've got 2 campsites before that and 2 campsites after that, and if shit goes wrong, we can stop here instead of there, right? And I've learned to embrace the contingency plan and know that this is in certain cases, yes, we got to be rigid on where we go and what we do. In other cases, it's like, you know what, we're going to get to the end eventually. Let's just, whatever happens in the middle. But there was that Mojave trip when we had the 30 people. There was on day 2, it was like, okay, we're not going to go see this. We're not going to go see this. And we're not going to go see this because there's no way we'll make it to camp by nightfall. So,
that's a straight road.
Yeah. But you're right. Every time someone gets on the radio, potty break. And when we go, it's very family friendly. So it can be everything from my 4-year, I think she was 4 at the time, 5 at the time, my toddler, needing to pull over to vomit or pee every 10 minutes. And then, you have to accept that you're not going to have optimum performance on that. You got to have a contingency plan. But
having to get out every 5 minutes to give his kids Dramamine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or Casey, when he had Big Tasty, Casey getting out every 10 minutes to go, I got a sound. I hear a sound. And like,
it's making a noise.
It's making a noise. I gotta see what that noise is.
Make sure it wasn't going to explode.
Yeah.
There you go.
But
She's running a little hot right now.
Yeah.
She needs a break.
Yeah. No, but I love the fact that you guys, when someone's going to go on a trip with you guys, you have those things planned out. You have contingency plans. You have a group of people that know what's going on, and I think that makes, even if it goes sideways, like you guys are the only ones that knows it went sideways, right? That's like,
right.
It's all part of the plan, everybody.
It's like the wedding, right? It's like a wedding where like everything's planned out to a T and it goes wrong, and the bride and groom are the only ones that know it went wrong. Everybody else is like, God, that was a wonderful wedding. I really enjoyed that. And the bride's like, well, the doves didn't release on time. Well, nobody knows. Nobody cares. Yeah. Like the people on the trip had a good time.
I didn't even notice they were chickens.
Well,
those are some funny looking doves.
Cody, you and I are the same person because, I'm
sorry for you, by the way.
we same thing, right? All these things lined up. And what I realized, and it pays to what you guys are saying, is, I don't know, about maybe 2 years ago. So it was maybe the 5th or 6th big trip we'd done at that point. I'm just thinking, man, people are having a miserable time. This thing is just not going the way it's supposed to go. And then somebody walked up to me and they're like, this is the best trip ever. This is amazing. And then I started to like a little more consciously not think about how I was feeling about the trip, but look at how everybody else was doing, and everybody's just having a blast. And so I think, you need a plan, because otherwise, you'll never necessarily get anywhere, but I think you have to be willing to have a lot of flexibility with that plan and just key points of interest you want to see along the way.
Yeah. I used to have a crap ton of anxiety about, I have a shit sense of direction. And I used to have a lot of anxiety about getting lost or making U-turns. And now it's just become like a feature of our trip. Everybody knows at the beginning of a trip, everybody fills out a form, how many U-turns there are going to be each day, and the winner gets a raffle prize.
Nice.
But I realized that I was the only one freaking out about the U-turn. Everybody else thought it was fun and part of the adventure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to them just so I, make fun of you. It's an opportunity to crack some jokes.
Usually what I do is, as I make the U-turn and I have to drive past the lineup, I just flip everybody off all the way down.
It's fun.
Screw you.
That's like our Jeep wave,
Yeah.
Like you drive by another Jeep. It's like,
that's the official Trail Chaser. What's it called? Greeting.
Oh man, the best is when it's on the first day. The first wrong U-turn, because you're just like, all right, guys, I just wanted to get that out of the way. So there we go. Poor navigation. We're good now.
It is. I just know it's going to happen, and I'm okay with it. So what's next? What where do you see Rogue Overland going next, whether it be the next expedition or the next social media thing or the next challenge, or what are you driving towards next?
Yeah, for us, I think right now there's not a lot of big change as far as are we going in any new exciting direction. Like I alluded to earlier, the coolest step that we just had was Nissan let us take the 2022 Frontier Pro 4X on the expedition.
You hear
to
that,
function
Jose?
as
You hear that? They took a 2020. You can take a 2022 Frontier out on do things like
I did.
Did you
It
know
went to
that?
the King of the Hammers. My truck went to the King of the Hammers
and parked.
It doesn't matter. I hit it got to the lake bed and back.
Okay.
So I think that was amazing, and I mean, my gosh, the technology they've put in that thing, and you get the joke, everybody, it looks like a Tacoma. Well, my argument is all mid-sized trucks look the same. Well, yeah. But you look at the styling. If everybody's doing sharp edges, then they all have sharp edges. If everybody's doing swoopy styling, they eventually they all have swoopy styling. Yeah. So it's a mid-sized truck, but the truck itself was great, and it was a lot of fun. So I think the thing for us is hopefully continuing to develop that relationship with Nissan would be the big thing for us. We've presented some ideas to them that I can't really allude to right now, but hopefully something comes of that. And besides that, just more of the same. We're looking at the expedition for next year, potentially talking about a Moab, Colorado mesh is what it's looking like right now. So keep an eye on that. Potentially in April, we're still trying to fine tune the best weather, and just working with new companies. Red Arc just came on, and we're doing some work with them, and they're going to get involved with the Nissan NV build that we're in the process of. So just continuing to get good content out on the YouTube channel. We're just going to try to do more of what we're doing, but continue to hopefully do it better.
That's I mean, everybody's trying to do the same thing. So going back to 2016, what do you wish you knew in 2016 that you know now that would have made all of this easier or better?
Oh, boy, that's a good one.
Because I can think of like 1,000 things. Like I wish I knew all the things.
I know. I'm like every mistake we made.
Yes.
I think that's dangerous because if you guys have seen The Butterfly Effect, you don't want to do that. Like you don't know the things can be bad.
That's a good movie.
It's probably bad.
That is a great movie. Yeah. I think the big thing for me is I wish I had, if I was going to pick one, I'd say I'd agree with Matt. I mean, we got where we are, and we're really happy with where we are because of all the mistakes. So maybe they were a blessing, but I think it would just be to have a much better idea of, in the marketing realm, what deliverables are, like what people are looking for when you're talking to them about, hey, I want to be involved in this product, but what does that mean to a person that's looking to have you do something for them in the marketing realm? Because just having no experience in marketing whatsoever, it was a lot of hard learns with that, and we had a great opportunity with a very big company that has an app, and in my opinion, and my partner's opinions as well, I'm not the only one. I mean, we fumbled it. We just didn't understand what we should have been doing in that scenario, and we fumbled a huge opportunity. And so I think, if I had a better grasp of marketing and what that means to the people you're talking to, it would have been helpful.
Mm-hmm. And I think that I'll speak for myself, is that going back to that time, there were so many things that I was going to learn out of brute force and willpower, as opposed to reaching out to somebody and saying, hey, man, can you just point me in the right direction? Can you help? And it took a long time for me to get to a point where I was able to do that, because it was always this feeling of like, I should know, or I don't want anybody to know that I don't know. Whereas I've learned that if you reach out to someone in most cases and you say, hey, I'm trying to do this, I see that you're doing that. Can you spare 5 minutes to point me in the right direction? And I think if people are willing to ask those questions, they will find a lot more help than they expect.
100%. That's a great point, and hopefully, I hope she doesn't mind me throwing her out here. But one of the questions I had after talking to one of the people, so YOLO, a lot of people in the Overland community, are familiar with YOLO, and I know her, and we talk now and again, and been on an adventure or two together, and I reached out to her. And I just said, hey, I have no idea if you're willing to share this information with me, but I just had this conversation and I'm trying to get an idea of what my answer should be. And it would have been nice if she would have just said, check this, and this, and this is exactly what you said. It was probably better, her answer. And she gave me a good direction and where to go. And then what things of our company to look at to then value the answers that I was giving that person. And it was super helpful, and she was completely open to do it. So I think you're right. It's okay to not know, and it's okay to ask, because most people are totally fine helping.
Mm-hmm. Because most people got to where, if you look out into the we'll call it the influencer landscape, and you see these people that you're like, oh man, I that's the direction I want to go. They got there somehow, and whether it be through brute force and they don't want anybody else to go through that, or because somebody gave them a leg up and they want to return the favor. If you're a creator, if you're someone out there, yours?
No.
Oh, if you're a creator and you're out there doing things, don't be afraid to ask the question, to say, hey, can you provide me some guidance?
Right. Yeah, 100%. I'm a big believer of, when you've made it to the top of the mountain, turn around, help the next person up.
Yeah, and you guys have definitely reached a pinnacle at some point. I mean, I'm sure there's more summits for you to crest, but you guys have really exemplified kind of like a really polished, and you're probably going to laugh at this, but from an outsider's perspective, you guys have a very polished brand. You seem to have your shit together. Like you're like, oh wow, these guys are really doing good things and big things, and they've got these groups. So whether you're faking it or not, from our side, it looks like you're doing everything right.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We try hard, and like this podcast has clearly said, don't anybody trying to get started, don't think that it's easy.
No.
And we're not doing everything right. There's a lot of times in the background where it's chaos and we're trying to figure it out. But thank you for that compliment. I appreciate it.
Well, man, I appreciate the conversation, and it's great to talk to you guys. I'm hoping that at some point we get to join you on one of these trips, or at least connect when you're in the area or when we get out there. I think we've tried it a couple of times, but schedules haven't worked out. For everybody that hasn't already done so, please go to subscribe to their YouTube channel at Rogue Overland. There's a lot of great. You guys do a really good job of like trip reports and walk arounds and just like an eclectic, a mix of content that keeps people engaged. So go to Rogue Overland on YouTube, and Rogue Overland on Instagram, and rogueoverland.com to keep up on what they're doing. And man, I hope you guys continue to grow on the trajectory you're on, and you have continued success. And I really like what you guys are doing. Thank you so much for spending some time with us.
Yeah, thank you to you as well. And I mean, we kind of got started at the same time, so hopefully we all just keep going up.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Don't hang up real quick. We're going to end the show right there. I forgot to tell you at the beginning, don't hang up when I say goodnight. So, I botched that, but, we're still live.
It's learning.
I'm learning. It's only 220 episodes. Okay. We're still live. So don't say anything derogatory about Matt.
Go ahead or do. I don't even care. Tell everybody.
That was a great conversation, man. I'm really excited about what you guys have done, and looking back to, like you say, we kind of started this thing at the same time, and the growth that you guys have had, and I think that your what you guys bring to the market, especially the Nissan niche, is fantastic, and we are big fans of the Nissan brand and love seeing people demonstrate what those things are capable of.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's they are. It's a great product. Great products they have.
So what I will do is edit this some point tomorrow night, and I'll send you an email with when it's been posted with some social media collateral for you guys to share, and then it'll go live on the last 2 weeks. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the last 2 weeks something has gone wrong with the posting, and it like I had to redo it in the morning. So I'm going to try to take my time and do it correct this time.
I blame the Russians.
No,
they're hacking. We've been hacked. The Russians are trying to shut us down.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible.
It's
via podcast posts.
Elon Musk, right? He moved all what is that, Skynet or whatever over to Ukraine. So we don't have internet now.
But tomorrow night after I get this edited, I'll send you an email with all the information and get it posted. It'll be available for download Thursday morning. And then we'll start promoting it Thursday and Friday and try to drive people to the episode to hear your story. But from going forward, if you guys need something, if there's anything we can do to help promote you guys or talk about some of the things you've got coming up, feel free to reach out, man. We love talking to you.
Okay. No, I appreciate that. And yeah, I know, everybody's schedule is difficult. It would be amazing at some point, whether we get on one of your trips or whether we get you guys out on one of ours, to get linked up. And especially if you come out on one of ours, we would love to do like a campfire type, like live podcast.
I don't want these guys on one of your trips.
Be careful what you wish for.
One, I don't want anybody on your trip because now we're going to feel like crap because our trips suck.
You're like, wait, our trips can look like this.
Yes. And
no takey backies.
2, at Hammers, we did a campfire trip. I don't drink very much. I don't drink almost at all. And I had imbibed in some alcoholic beverages. And they pulled the microphones out, and what happened was not good. None of it was good.
That's awesome.
That's a matter of perspective.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah. So, but
some of it was bad.
We will definitely need to connect and go on a trip. I think it'd be a good time.
Awesome. Now, where exactly are you guys? Are you in San Diego or are you more Orange County?
Ontario,
you're SoCal, right?
Yeah,
Inland Empire.
Inland Empire. Yeah. So you know where the Ontario Airport is? We're all around the Ontario Airport essentially.
I'm in Big Bear.
Okay.
Yeah, Casey's in Big Bear, which is a great. If you guys want to do a good expedition in the mountains, that's a great place to go.
They have.
Yeah, they have. They've done.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, when do you guys have any plans to come to Big Bear anytime soon?
Well, we usually try to go once a summer. Yeah, so
let us know.
I will reach out when that gets.
We need to do a Gold Mountain trip too.
Yeah, we do.
Okay,
let's do it. I'm ready.
Let's do it together. That'd be great.
Let's go. Matt needs to put sliders on his truck.
I bought the steel yesterday. Okay, so it's give me some time.
When does that start to be wheelable? Snow wise,
it snowed yesterday. It's pretty much gone. It's all gone already. So it's wheelable.
Oh,
now.
really?
Yeah, it's like slush.
Geez.
More slush than anything.
Yeah.
It's like it's gone. It's not even slush. It's just it's gone.
It's gone. Okay. Yeah, we're leading one of the trails for Gone Moab, so that gets us through May. But after that, yeah, we should look
July 4th weekend.
July 4th weekend. How is it? Would it be crazy?
Yeah,
it's a mad hack.
It'll be busy.
Yeah, don't come up July 4th. So July 4th, July 4th in Big Bear is huge. It's 1 billion people. It's not.
But they're all down at the lake.
Yeah,
but
there's
going to be quite a few people on the trails, but the majority of the traffic.
There's so many people there. It's not worth it. Yeah, it's not, especially for someone that's going to drive 8 hours to get here. It's not worth it. Come, the weekend before or something.
Okay. All right. Well, let's look at the calendar and through Instagram. Let's get some dates picked out, and then I can talk to my guys and see what dates they could do, and that'd be a lot of fun.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. All right, man. Well, thank you so much. You have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks. You too.
Bye. Thanks, Nick.
Bye. Later.
He was talking like midway through the interview, like I got to hold on, I got to go to low power mode.
I saw that.
And I went, oh wow! And then we went another at least half hour, and then all of a sudden he started bugging out. And I'm like,
is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think
close to missiles.
Yeah, I think his computer's powering down.
Yeah, it was his phone. He was on his phone. Yeah.
Okay, I think his phone is powering down.
But it worked. Yeah. We made it through. All right.
Have you guys seen the new trailer for Top Gun?
3, 2, 1.
What was that, Jose?
Have you guys seen the new trailer for Top Gun? It comes out in May.
No.
Yeah, I seen it.
No?
It's not doing it for you?
Oh, you know what? I did see one.
You know, there's not
A while
enough.
back.
There's not
Is
enough.
Kelly McGinnis in it?
I
No.
hope not.
Yeah. No.
There's
You know
not a
what?
lot of beach volleyball dudes and
Yeah,
beach
there's. I didn't see enough beach volleyball dudes.
You know what? There's certain movies that you just don't like. You just don't touch. You don't
Yeah, you know-
remake.
and Top
I feel
Gun
like
is
that's
not
one
one
of
of
them.
them. I'm super happy. I'm excited for the sequel.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you my opinion. This reeks of the. I don't know. If you guys saw that second Independence Day that they put
Yes.
together, like
Oh, yeah.
the 20th anniversary or whatever, and it was like. You know, literally, I didn't see anything for it till like 2 weeks before, and it's like, what?
Wait,
there's a second. Oh, you know, I gotta see it, and then you know, like,
You're like, Will Smith
the
not
week,
in it?
yeah, the week before, you're like,
And then he slapped the alien.
And then he slapped the shit out of some
He
aliens.
slapped the shit out of that alien in the first one. Yeah.
there's no Will Smith in this one. Like, not even the Dodger Will Smith. Like, what? What's going on here?
Wait. Do you even like the first Top Gun?
Of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
everybody likes
Oh,
the
yeah,
first
I'm
Top
saying.
That's
Gun.
what I'm saying.
I'm
There's
just saying.
certain
So-
movies that you just don't touch. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
and
gonna
then-
go. You know
remake
what?
them.
By the end of that movie, I was so upset. It was like I should have just walked out and in protest. It was so stupid.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I bet you this sequel is gonna be better than the first one.
Oh, you're crazy.
Really?
You're crazy.
I don't
Gideon.
think that.
The only thing it has over the original, I would say, is probably technology.
I don't even know
Right?
what does that mean.
No, no,
What
like,
technology?
they're-
They're flying jets.
Yeah,
I know, but like CGI,
yeah,
all
but
that
see,
kind of
no,
shit,
but
like,
that's the thing.
they're going
That's
to be
why
able to
it's-
make it
that's
more
why it's gonna-
visually appealing.
No, that's why it's going to be stupid.
Yeah,
It's 'cause
they're gonna
it's be
overdo
all-
it.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's going to be some super plane.
Adam,
Rather than just back then, it was like cool. There's some F-14s fighting some other.
they're
jets,
not F-14s anymore.
I was.
Well, I know,
He's got a need for
but that
Yeah.
was, but that was the point. It was like actual footage of jets.
You know the bird.
Yeah.
I know the bird.
this is going to be like, Nav, you're the only one
Yeah.
that can
Oh,
do
yeah.
it, and this is the only.
Dude, that's
plane-
what the trailer was about.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Boom.
He's a 70-year-old ex-pilot. For some reason, he's
And
got to come
this-
back to save
this
the world.
He's still in the Navy.
This mission is so risky.
They're going to war.
We had to
There's
build this
one-
one
yes,
plane,
yeah.
Yeah,
and,
and then
we
you
have
got-
one shot.
You got Iceman
We
going,
need-
you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Does he do that? I didn't see Val Kilmer in it. Is Val Kilmer in this
No,
one?
they reference his picture because they're like, he's the one that said you're the only man for the job.
Johol. Wow, that's the only meaningful thing in the whole
all right.
movie.
You know what? You know what?
Is that
You know what this
Iceman?
sounds-
I say we go do
You know- this
yeah.
is
Oh shit!
this is a matinee trail chaser
yeah.
event with the ecto pack in the back row.
Yeah,
Oh fuck!
mystery
Yeah.
science theater.
100%. 100%. We'll do
Yeah,
like an
see, but-
11 o'clock show.
What's cool is that what's crazy
We're,
is
we're
that
15 minutes in, telling each other, "Shut up."
Yeah, I know.
And we're all into it and
I
shit.
love it. I'm crying.
Tom Cruise is crazy enough to where I think he actually learned to fly this jet because he learned to fly the helicopter in Mission Impossible.
Sure.
Like all those over the shoulder that was him flying. And now there's like a bunch of shots of him in the plane where I think he's really in the plane. Like,
Which production company is going to sign off on that insurance
bro,
policy?
he's
Right.
Theta 7. He's way beyond insurance policy.
How does a Theta 7 align or with chakras? Like, is that
Bro,
like
that's-
on the chakra?
Well,
map,
how many chakra
color is
how many
that?
chakra colors are there? How many different chakra things are there?
Let's see, 1, 2,
7.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think there's
No, not 6.
If you go 7. If you go with the yin yang thing there at the bottom, I think that's technically. I don't know if that's your chakra because you're levitating above it, but I think that's like 8.
So he's at the top chakra.
He's top Theta level, dude.
Yeah.
He's like, he knows what's written on those tablets in the volcano.
Upper echelon.
True.
Nice.
But yeah, I don't. Maybe it won't have as many as good as one-liners as the original movie, but
It can.
They're
Yeah,
gonna
I mean,
try too hard to get the one line.
Yeah.
I mean, Goose's son.
and
is
they're
in it.
it's
Yeah, they're trying right there. You're trying too hard. I already know what. he's got to make amends. And his son's gonna be pissed at him. Not at first,
bro. Did you see the trailer?
Whatever.
Because everything you just said is in the trailer.
It writes itself.
There are certain movies and certain
itself.
TV shows that are written by a junior high school student. Like my wife watches this show that I can walk in and in 30 seconds tell you exactly what's going to happen for the next 20 minutes, and it's dead on because it's the most trite,
Matt, in the trailer, Goose's son's like, my dad believed in you. I'm not gonna make the same mistake.
Okay. So the only thing,
dude, bring up the trailer. Just bring up the trailer.
No,
is he Al Qaeda, dude? Does he convert Al Qaeda just so he can fight, man?
We're gonna watch the trailer right now.
No, we're not gonna watch it.
You gotta bring it up. You gotta bring it up.
What?
You have to.
I think you have to.
You have to, dude.
Sorry, this is
because they're chasing trails in the sky, Cody.
Exactly.
Oh well.
Top Gun Maverick. That's the one.
That's what it's called, Maverick.
Okay, get ready.
This powerful $99 drone is now available in the U.S.
Now that I'd watch.
This is an extremely high-tech 5,000.
It's a drone with a flamethrower.
All right, here we go.
And going back to Casey's technology, they now have GoPros.
What do we have here? Here I thought we were special.
Fellas, this here's Bagman.
Hangman.
Whatever.
What the hell kind of mission is this?
Everyone here is the best there is. Who the hell are they going to get to teach us?
Only one man for the job.
There's one guy.
Captain Pete Maverick Mitchell.
Oh yeah, he's going to break out his 1980s
You are
ninja.
not my first choice. You are here at the request of Admiral Kazansky, a.k.a. Iceman. He seems to think that you have something left to offer the Navy. What that is, I can't imagine.
With all due respect, sir, I'm not a teacher. Just want to manage expectations.
What the hell? Good morning, aviators. This is your captain speaking.
How does Tom Cruise look so good?
I was about to ask you.
Dude, that's a lot of thetas right there.
2, 1.
Man, how much you think they had to pay that actor to grow that mustache?
We're going into combat on a level no living pilot's ever seen. Not even him.
You think up there you're dead. Believe me.
My dad believed in you. I'm not gonna make the same mistake.
Dude, that actor, he was Fantastic Four.
Someone's not coming back from this.
Those are your pilots. Anything happens to them.
Okay.
You'll never forgive yourself.
No turning back now.
Come on! Jeez! Having any fun yet?
All right, so
we gotta see it, dude.
I don't.
How come? It looked like Tom Cruise had launched like 35 missiles at one time? How is that possible?
I think he was trying to get away from the 35 missiles that were coming after him.
They were in front of him. Like
they were hitting he hit the flares.
That's how good of a pilot he is.
They put extra bombs on his.
You know that actor you're talking about? I don't know what that guy's name is, but I keep seeing commercials for some show he's in about directing The Godfather.
Oh, he's done a bunch of stuff.
Some new show coming up called The Offer, where he plays, I don't know, whoever the fuck it was that directed.
No, are we still
The
talking?
Godfather?
Are we still talking about Top Gun?
Yes, I was going to say, can we
no,
move
just that
on?
one dude. He's a good actor. Yeah.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
he is.
Look, the only thing that thing's missing is like a Death Star or something. That's probably what. It's the greatest mission any pilot, even him.
It's a trap.
And he points. Yeah, exactly.
I can hit a wombat from.
Yeah. A wombat.
Womp-rat.
There you go.
Yeah.
This ain't no farm on Tatooine, boy.
Come on, Midge.
Yeah, that's funny. Anyways, I
There's
want
all that shit talking on Batman, and look, Robert Pattinson pulled it off.
All right. I don't know if I talked that much trash about Batman. I think
I thought you said it was good, man.
I did. It is. It's great. Okay. I think prior to the movie starting, watching those trailers, I was like, you know what? I might be in on Robert Pattinson Batman, on emo Batman, and then it paid off. I was like, yeah, I like that Batman.
I'm doubling down.
So now, I'm going all as far as right now, Maverick and Tom Cruise being Maverick, he's like the same guy. It's not like they got somebody.
He's literally the same guy.
Yeah, it's not like they got what's his name, Iron Man to play Maverick this time, and I think he's pretty good at Maverick. It's same Maverick. I'm not. Look, I'll go see it.
We are going to go see it. Yeah,
we'll go see it. I'm not dragging my family to go see it. I think
no,
because that's $100+ right there.
Yes,
and I've already learned my lesson with Independence Day 2. Yes. I'm not doing that again because I just get upset, and then I'm kicking the kids when I get home because I'm all angry and frustrated.
I thought you had that robot.
Yeah, I thought you kicked robots.
They had that robot. Well, that's why the drone flew away.
The abuse robot.
So speaking of Robert Pattinson, I'd like to talk about my transition.
Okay.
I am full Overlander. Like that's it. I am 100% in, bro.
Yeah.
Just over the last week, like every
you sleep in the tent in the driveway.
But
because Tim says that's your next surgery is when you fall out of that tent. Yes. And break something.
I fell off
and
the
I
tailgate
agree,
today.
100%.
It's true. It's true. But every night after work, I've been doing a little bit to get ready for this trip. We're leaving on Saturday, which, by the way, we probably
came back up to the shop.
We probably won't do. Probably won't do an episode next week. But so Casey built an additional support system. I mounted a box in back under the shelf. It's my Iron Man compressor is mounted in there full time. I've got two 12-volt outlets. I've got an air chuck. I've got a switch. So now the compressor is wired, ready to go. I don't have to do anything.
Which compressor did you go with?
It's the Iron Man Air Pro Champ.
Air Champ Pro.
Air Champ Pro. That's what I said.
Same one I have mounted in the back.
Yeah. So it's fully mounted, and like I can't even tell you how happy I am about that piece of it. I've got two outlets, two 12-volt outlets, one for the refrigerator, one for charging. The bed rack is all dialed in. I have the cases are ready to go. I mounted a wire grid up underneath the bed rack in the back and put a mesh net under there. So now I can hang things in there easily. So you guys have plenty to laugh at for the next trip. I have the refrigerators in there with the Iron Man fridge and slider in there. I've got the Iron Man portable shower mounted, like hanging up there. I filled it up yesterday and left it. And this afternoon it was 92 degrees because it takes the heat from the sunlight and warms up the water. That works. I feel really, really good about this road trip we're about to go on. I feel like it's super dialed in. Now, I've dry fit everything. Like, okay, I think this is going to go here. No, that's not going to work. This is going to go there. I will find out Friday if it's all going to fit. Like by the time we get our duffel bags and sleeping and pillows and all that stuff. But I feel like everything's dialed in. I have the Ryobi battery charger in the truck plugged into the 110 outlet. And I'm bringing the batteries with me because I've got the Ryobi flashlight, the impact for my lug nuts. I'm taking a drill, and I'm taking the Ryobi Bluetooth speaker. Like, I'm feeling like.
Do you have a laser that you can flash up at UFOs when you're next to?
No laser. I'm
going to get a new one, Matt. I lost mine.
So, I guess my point is, like, it's been the last month of prepping for this trip, but I feel I feel better about this trip than I have in a long time. Like the other night, Sunday, I just spent the entire day, like no pressure, doing the stupid things of going, okay, I know I've got this tool bag in here. I took the tool bag out.
Organize it.
Yeah, I dumped everything out and went, okay, do I have one of everything? Do I have what?
Nothing, man.
What?
I just heard that like from Tammy's point of view. I got this tool bag over here.
and he's messing around with his tools.
My point is, I've been able to take the time to like feel good about like all of the recovery gear and the tools and the tie downs and all that stuff, and it's organized, and I to a point where, all right, let's I'm gonna load up Friday night with everything except our duffel bags.
Can I predict something?
Absolutely.
This is pretty good. So you're going to finish this trip, whatever day you're coming back.
When's your estimated time of arrival?
We leave Saturday morning, and we will be back the following Friday.
Okay.
That Saturday, you start shopping for a full-size truck. That Saturday.
I agree, dude.
Maybe Sunday.
Not mid-trip. Not mid-trip, man.
I don't think there's many dealerships out that way. He'll start Googling. He'll start like searching.
Monday, he's gonna be like, all right, I have it down to 3.
All right, guys, look, the thing I didn't realize is I need slings. I need 25 slings because
Dude,
whatever.
I called that full size thing.
You did, but I'm specifying a date.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we have to open up a truck pool instead of a dead pool.
And what truck it is, he's probably gonna stick with it.
It's probably gonna be Ford.
Yeah,
it's gonna be that Ford Rattler.
Maybe. No, I haven't even seen that, but
you will.
Yeah, I don't expect to. Well, if I can make this work,
because now, here's the logic behind it. You're pot committed on overlanding. You'll have a great time. So now you're not concerned with trail capabilities as much anymore. I mean, it's not like you're losing a ton of capability, but the selling point to going full size is going to be that much more attractive.
You mean
now.
There's more space?
Exactly, and the more power, because then there's more shit you can haul, and you're gonna be like, you know what?
It's the same amount of shit, just comfortably.
I wanted. There was a moment in the trail where Tammy was taking a shower, and I wanted to take a shower, so I wanted one of my own. And it's like
now there's 3 showers on that truck.
Shit like that. It's gonna be something dumb like that. We had one refrigerator, and it really wasn't enough, so we needed more space for another refrigerator because of our ice cream. Like whatever. You're gonna have something like that to come back and have to get a full size.
I don't think so. I don't see that happening anytime soon at all.
2 weeks.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I may be wrong. You guys may be right, but
this trip is going to cement the decision of you getting a full size truck.
And you know what?
Maybe
That's fine.
he already started shopping for one.
Yeah, he's a good looking dude. All right, answer this. Have you even looked at a full size truck?
If I were to buy a full size, the only full size I want right now is the Ram TRX.
Yeah.
Right, that's $110,000.
You have $100,000 just laying around, dude.
I do not have $120,000. That truck. We talked about this. That truck is as much as my first house.
At 8 miles a gallon.
Yes, yeah. No, I honestly I wouldn't even. The last full size truck I had was an F-150 for work.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know where to begin. Like I don't know what the inside of a Ram or a Tundra or a Titan or
it looks like a cockpit.
They're all
I'm sure they're all bitching. I have not at all looked at a full size for a personal vehicle ever. Like I've never even gone down. Well, I take that back. I mean, it's 2013. I had
you had a Dodge.
Yeah. So since 2000, but when I had the full size, I also had the Jeep. But since
what's the F-150 Rattler?
It's like the Tremor.
The Tremor, yeah. It's
okay.
It's like a lower version.
Is that like the Trail Boss?
Yeah.
Chevy.
But this is like instead of it's a lower trim package. So like the base work trucks can have the off-road goodies.
Okay.
So instead of the truck costing you $65,000, it's going to cost you
64,
$45,000.
Yeah, it's just another trim.
You'll start searching. What can you get for your Ranger?
Yep.
And you'll go, and you'll start making that. I'm already kind of doing it for you.
You know which truck I would get? That AEV Ram, dude. The one we saw out there in Hammers. It was camped next to our camp.
Yeah, those are really, really nice.
It was that white Ram AEV.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty. It's like a 2500. It's pretty badass.
I heard a lot of good things about the new Tundra and the new Titan.
Titan is going away. You don't want to get that.
they're going to discontinue it, but when?
I think this is the last.
Is it?
Yeah, it's soon.
Are they going to do something different, or
No.
they're just done with it?
Getting out of the full size game.
Yeah, they never gained the
hit,
traction.
dude.
Yeah.
Well, because they didn't push.
Yeah, just like everything else. I don't know. I have no idea what if I were to go that route, but I have no intention of going that route. I need to get the Ford paid off.
It's been 2+ years. This is the longest I think you've ever owned one single vehicle.
Because I love this truck.
Sure, you keep saying that, but now you're pushing this truck to its limit now. It's limited. Now it's what else are you going to put on this thing?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know that I need to put anything else on. That's the thing. Like
radio, that Midland radio.
Yeah, I'm saying from a now that the one thing that was bothering me on the Cougar Buttes trip was the softness of the rear suspension with the tent and everything on it now.
Did you put the overload spring?
So the leaf pack got opened up, the new spring got put in.
Did it make a difference?
And it lifted it back up.
Okay.
And totally changed the sway of the truck. Like you don't even feel the tent is there anymore.
Keep doing that dance you were just doing. I want to lay down a beat. Just
Mambo number 5.
but seriously, once that overload spring that went in the leaf pack and the shocks got cranked up a little bit, totally rides like if you got in it and took off, you wouldn't know that there's a tent up there. I feel it coming like up and down the mountain, like on a turn. Obviously, you feel a little bit of the weight, but normal day-to-day driving, no problems at all. This 2,000-mile trip will be a big factor in how that is. But I feel really good about the truck and where it's at, and and what we can do with it.
How about this for odds? The Ranger breaks down sometime on this trip. Did I just jinx it?
Bad juju.
You're
man.
an asshole.
That's bad.
I don't
juju.
wish that.
I didn't wish it. I'm just saying, like, you just put a bunch of shit on it. You're gonna throw your family in it, and then stretch that shit out.
Tammy and I were talking about it. We were like, okay, this is what the trip is. It's 6 nights, and I'm like, we don't know that we make it to Vegas and go F this and turn around and come straight home. Like, so.
Well, you are taking the dogs.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
That's the X factor in this whole thing.
That is the
X factor.
Yes, because there's an
he needs a full size to hold the kennel in the back.
There's a chance that the dogs will get tossed out the window, and I will come home because my wife is divorcing me. That's what's going to happen.
If we were going on a road trip, my wife said we're bringing the dogs, I would say, no, you guys are going on a road trip.
Yeah, I did not.
I'm staying home.
Well, the good thing is you can live out of your truck now.
Yes,
so.
I can. Yes, I'll just park in front of Matt's house. Matt lives on a cul-de-sac. I'll just park in front of there and just pop open the tent.
Parking up there. Go ahead.
You'll be all right. There's an empty field by my next.
Jose's got an
right.
empty lot.
Right. I'm gonna go live at Jose. I'll be Jose's neighbor.
There's a giant field behind my house, so you can just park right there
for sure. And I'll just run Jose's garden hose out to my truck.
Extension cord. Yeah.
You'll be all right.
So
full hookups.
Yeah.
Everybody's putting money down on what's going to happen to your truck in the chat room. I love it. You guys are the best. You're the best. Shy, Tim, I love you guys. Everybody's putting $10 on the window.
Oh,
it's like arcade rules, dude.
Kaleidoscope window.
Tim is saying that the turbo's going to have issues. Shy's saying it's the window.
He's saying now he's more confident about the turbo braking than you falling out of the tent. It's awesome.
I fell out of the back of the truck today. That was not. I thought, oh shit, I broke my arm, but it's fine. I might not be able to get up tomorrow.
It's still early. Wait till you wake up tomorrow.
There's always tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really excited about this trip. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We have a lot of stuff, marked out, and
just remember, Little Alien. Please give me a 2X T-shirt.
Okay, all right, we'll see.
I'll pay for it, but
some of that alien jerky.
Yeah, I don't care so much about the jerky, but the T-shirt for sure.
Mark, I tell you what, if the dogs do poo in the back seat, that's the first one getting tossed out the window. Like,
dude, don't you know they're gonna do that? How can you not? It's kind of like when it's like poking a bear and the bear's gonna fuck you up. Like you're putting dogs. You're gonna go 6 days with dogs in your truck. You don't expect them to take a shit.
That's why I built that platform for them to be on.
It's gonna be Chody on the side of the highway, following Carlos around. Just take a shit already.
Shit now. Following him around, he's just hobbling around doing the
and he's not going to do it. And then you're going to put him back in the car, and 2 miles later, he's just going to shit on the platform.
Yep. Oh man,
I hate you guys. I hate you guys so much right now.
I'm going to have to ask Tammy for take some video or something.
As soon as one of them shits, take video.
Just
you guys suck. You guys suck. Shit. Now I'm thinking about what can I put down on top of that platform to absorb.
Just now you're thinking about
puppy pads.
Yeah, I'm gonna
get puppy pads.
Oh, you got to get those puppy pads. Yeah,
That's actually not a bad idea. Put the puppy pads down and then put blankets on top. That way, if something happens, they just get absorbed.
No, put
that way you just have shitty, pissy blankets.
But they'll just get all crumpled up from them walking around and stuff. So it's just
that's the point of it. So your blanket doesn't.
I'll throw the blanket in the fucking trash. I don't care. We'll get another blanket.
Okay, are you gonna bring 8 blankets to put down for the dogs?
We'll stop and buy another one. That's what we'll do.
Okay.
Damn it. You guys suck. You just ruined it for me.
No, we're just trying to prepare you for the inevitable.
Trying to help you out. Make sure bring an extra turbo for the truck.
You wouldn't have thought of that, and then you'd been like, why didn't anybody warn me?
Bring extra fuses for when that turbo gets hot.
I have a shit ton of fuses already.
I mean, there's 4 fuse boxes, so you
because when I did the wiring for the compressor and stuff, I tried to run it through my switch box, and it was just too much.
Too much draw.
Too much draw. Yeah. So I ended up having to go direct to the battery and then run a switch in the back. But it ended up working out better for what I was trying to do. So I'm going to try to do.
I think as long as you have a fuse in between there.
There is. I've got a big 50 amp fuse in between there. I was just trying to utilize this switch,
for sure.
But I like the switch that I have in the back now in that box better. The box that I bought, it was a $15 Plano box from Home Depot. I want to end up taking the whole area that Casey built on that shelf and build a good solid box to fit like more stuff in there. Essentially, I'd like to do a dual battery setup, but Shy, I would love to leave the dogs with anybody. If anybody wants dogs for a week, please let me know. But yeah, so I
also let me know those two because I would like them to have my dogs as well.
And by a week, I mean forever.
And by 8 days, I mean 80 years.
Yeah. But I think we'll skip the episode next week, and unless you guys want to jump on and do live, it's up to you. But I won't be around. I think Tuesday night I will be. I don't even know where I'll be at that. I have to look.
Hopefully you're near Area 51 and maybe interviewing some aliens or something. Bring the Ectopack.
I could.
Be ready for that.
I could try to do that. So Tuesday night we will be camping in Sedona, Arizona.
Yeah, he said, "Oh, I don't know where we'll be Tuesday night." Like he doesn't have a fucking spreadsheet.
I had to open
with a full-blown itinerary. He knows. Oh, at 6:30 we will be at mile marker 487.
Carlos is already going to shit 4 times in the back seat.
Well, you know what is interesting is I have all of the gas stops laid out, but I did not put in extra time for dog pees. So that's going to be.
You have to go through the entire.
I'm going to have to add 15 minutes.
You have to redo. You got to take it all back to formula.
But fortunately, all of it is cascading mathematically. So when you add incremental time, it just adds time to the rest of the thing. So it'll be good. But I can tell you on Tuesday, sunrise is at 6:19 in the morning. Sunset is 18:52, and it's going to be a high of 70 and a low of 46.
Where is that though?
In Sedona, Arizona.
Okay. Have you adjusted for the time change?
Yes.
Okay.
How about the vortices in that area? Those have been known to mess with your clocks, and your direction is going to be either on point now because the vortices there will correct your natural, negative. You're not very good with directions. Or it'll make it worse.
So there are,
and it's going to be like that Marshall, Will, and Holly. The Greatest Expedition over. What's that show where Land of the Lost? Oh my God, dude! What if you ended up Land of the Lost?
There are three.
You're kind of doing this whole trip is like a Land of the Lost type trip.
There are 3 known.
If they had rooftop tents in the Land of the Lost.
Yes.
There are 3 known vortices in Sedona that are marked out on the map already.
I've been there.
The airport Mesa vortex.
There's one by like a big balancing rock. Or
the Red Rock crossing vortex.
Mm-hmm. I've been there, dude.
And the vortex at
I didn't want to be there,
Rock.
But I was there.
I didn't want to put them on the map. I was.
No, I know. I get it. It's still beautiful.
There was a discussion about the vortices, so they ended up on the map. That's what happens. So I will, if you guys wanted to do the live feed, that's up to you. You guys can log in and do it. But I'll leave that up to you guys. If not, then we will skip next week, and assuming I make it back alive, we'll have a conversation the following
week. Are you guys going to stop at Tim's house?
I don't think we're going near Tim's house.
Hell no!
Oh, we kind of drive through. So we're doing Alabama Hills. We're camping the first night in Alabama Hills. Then we're going to Tonopah, Nevada, spending the night in a haunted hotel. Again, that was also not my choice. Then we do Las Vegas, then Sedona, then Tombstone, Arizona, then Scottsdale, then home. So
yeah,
leave the dogs with Tim.
Yeah, he's already like, please let them use. They can use my backyard as a poop area or a restroom. I would take him up on that for sure.
I'll just leave him at Tim's house. Come on, let's go.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Where's the dogs? They're in the car already. Let's go. We're late.
Let's go.
Oh, we can't turn around.
Too late. All right.
We have a schedule.
I will. I'll let you guys know how it goes. I'll try to do some posting while we're out and about each night. And
I want to see pictures of aliens and ghosts, vortices. If you find Chaka out there, make sure to take a picture of Chaka. Remember Chaka?
I do.
You don't remember? Do you remember
Yes.
Land of the Lost? I'm looking at Jose.
Land of the Lost?
Land of the Lost?
The weird looking little creature.
Yeah, and the slee stack. Remember
yes, the slee stack.
They were like the lamest villains. They hated daylight, and they couldn't move very fast.
They walked slow.
Yeah,
but
they were kind of scary looking.
But they're the alien people that eventually became the Hollywood elite. That's
Oh yeah. No, that's the breakdown right there. But do you remember the crystal guy, like the guy that was just all lights? That dude was fucking scary, dude.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, that was like, oh shit, he's on this week's episode? I ain't watching this shit. And I cussed just like that too when I was 8 years old. This is some fucking bullshit.
So going back to Ghosts and Aliens, so
please do.
Literally, Tonopah, Nevada is supposed to be like super haunted, and we're staying in a haunted hotel there. And then we're going up that direction specifically to go on Alien Highway. Through Nevada into Little Alien and all that. We're passing Area 51. I've got it marked on the map, but it's quite a ways off the highway, so I don't know that I'll be making the trip into Area 51.
We'll just take a trail and head that way. You'll be all right.
Yeah. Hey, Angie's saying something about needing permits for Alabama Hills.
I just saw that. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. Thank you, Angie. I don't. I just marked out spots to camp. So thank you. I will definitely look for that. All right. Well, guys, thank you for joining us tonight. Appreciate it. Thanks to Nick for hanging out with us, and hopefully I'm alive and able to do the show in 2 weeks. Enjoy having a week off without us, and we will catch up with you guys soon. Thanks to everybody for hanging out. We'll talk to you later.
See ya.